Okay, cool. Are you in it though?
You have to add a title. I'm not doing
Nah,
it.
it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, we live.
Hey y'all.
Back at it like we never left.
Hey.
Sorry that we're 2 minutes late. You know, that's not our character.
We on CP time.
CP.
CP.
What's that? Oh, colored people.
Yeah.
That's not how we want to start off the day.
I ain't want to say.
I'm dead.
I'm like, I don't know. Hey.
We're here though.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
I'm very joyful last week. You know.
You did?
I'm saying just a lot of cultivated content coming their way.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like it was definitely a good week.
Hey.
Definitely had a good week locking in, man.
Oh, I was missing out of the frame. Hey y'all.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Let's make this one good though. I think this is gonna be a good end. You know, one thing I see, we stopped doing the book.
Yeah, it wasn't giving me nothing.
Was it hitting no more?
It wasn't giving me what it was supposed to give. But let me know if we need to bring the code book back because we will. But to me, I was just like, it wasn't really feeding. It wasn't feeding. That's okay. Maybe we can find something else, another book though. I think we should do it though.
Okay. Yeah, maybe something to spark the mind before we get started.
Yeah. Do you have? I mean, I hope everyone's doing well.
Yes.
Let's do this intro properly.
Oh yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Cultivating Conversations with DP Squared. I'm your host Deja, along with my ugly co-host
DeAndre, the big one,
not
the little one.
Thank you all for tuning in live, and for everybody who's going to watch later. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But let's hop right into it.
Straight to it, okay.
I mean, I feel like yes, because you already had us late, so
cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this title is the United States in shambles? Short answer, yes or no?
No, not in shambles.
Okay. The reason why we was asking this though is because a lot of us, I think, know the election is coming up this year, but I'll speak for myself. I have been trying to avoid and block out that reality out of my head because of the simple fact that like it's just too much going on.
Yeah.
But that's not a good enough excuse. So that's why I feel like
good excuse. That's not a good excuse.
That's why I feel like we needed to bring this topic to the table and just discuss, chat a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I want to
because it is ghetto, very much so.
Bring something up early.
Yes, it's in shambles, period.
Bring something up early. I did a little bit of research in my community, I guess you can say. No, I'm just kidding. I had texted some of my friends and asked them about the election. Have they been doing their research? So from a young African American, that's all they were, Black kids, not one did any research on the upcoming election. So I think that doesn't, of course, generalize the entire population. But I think a lot of young adults are not in tune with what's going on.
Okay, we had to do a quick. You say, have you been? Yes or no?
I have not.
I have not, so I'm gonna say no. If y'all and don't be afraid, because if you haven't, that's okay.
Yeah. Have you been paying attention to the election?
if you haven't been paying attention to the presidential election and on the campaign and everything, let us know. If you have not, you can say no.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Honestly, I have not, and that's why I feel like this is a necessary topic today.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's hop into it. So, how important do you think? You know what? Actually, no. I want to start with. What are your top concerns as a young adult?
Okay. Top concerns. We got a little bit of notes, but listen.
Or what are your top concerns in general? Because everyone's not a young adult. So
I think one of my top concerns is the job market. It's been very hectic, and
that's a great point.
The general statement that I've heard across young adults, anybody looking for a job is that they cannot find one, and that is super hard to even get in those initial positions. Then it's going to be exceptionally hard to get into those bigger positions. And one reason for that, they do talk about the economy and job laws. And what do you think?
For sure. To piggyback on that, I guess to add to it, I would say finances would be a thing for me, or like the cost of living.
Yeah, I had that too. Cost of living is crazy.
Like, it's not good. It's not good. No. And so that's probably one of my main concerns. I definitely think the job market, I agree with you, is just all over the place. I don't know who's to blame for that though. Like, I don't know if that's it's just a lot of people going for the same jobs type of thing, or if it's like
Yeah, I think it becomes.
It could be.
I'm not too sure because I don't know the facts on everything, but I think it becomes a money crunch due to one, inflation and having to pay your employees, pay so many things for for the corporation to run smoothly. So then it then has job laws having less jobs in the market in totality. But I do want to hear from the people that what they think. What's their biggest concern right now?
What's another concern I have?
I think a lot of my concerns coincide with like the human side of the world, like socially, like human rights, like crime, especially in inner city communities.
But what's interesting is I feel like all the issues that we're talking about right now are like issues that were issues for the president prior and the president before that and the president before that. So are these just issues that's just not going to be like that solved? Or like, I guess my question is always what can we really expect a president to do in their term, or if these are things that are constantly just stuff that just is going to always be an issue in some capacity?
I know that in the last 4 years, people have been saying that the jobs market has been worse, economy has been worse, yada yada. That's kind of been a thing with Biden. And I'm not necessarily sure because again, this is all opinionated.
For sure.
So
very opinionated.
Very opinionated. But I do believe that the majority of individuals don't see change in their direct lives, which impact them not to want to go vote. And do you see that too? Kind of like putting a blind eye to it because you feel as though nothing has changed, but I don't believe that's always true.
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't realize the stuff that does change. Like, let's just say, for example, certain presidents, theirs might be a lower interest rates on your loan that you have for school versus other presidents, or like there might be more funding for like the local recreation center that now doesn't have funding because of who's in office. So there's things I feel like that people don't realize changes depending on who's in office. So I don't want people to think like there's never any change. That's why it is important to pay attention and vote and stuff, because there's stuff that changes depending on who makes who has the power at that time. So I do understand why people think, I guess, because sometimes people just want things to go from like A to Z in a couple of years, and that's never going to happen. Like that's never going to happen. That's just not, stuff takes a long time to like adjust. But
and you brought up how like important it is, right? I saw something that they said all 435 seats of the House of Representatives are up for election and 33 Senate seats, right? And the Republicans have the House and the Democrats have the Senate. So how important is that to you? Because you know that the control of Senate or House of Representatives can block certain things from coming through.
So how important is it to me
that this is also happening as the election is coming up too?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying like, does that
like those things are up for like voting?
Yes, to change.
Yeah. I mean, because I think a lot of people don't realize how much the person who is the face for the power really is not making all the decisions all the time. Like it's always the people who are next to them, or the people who are in these like offices, or the judges and all these other people that they can elect. That's why that's so important, because they're the ones who can decide like if they cut our funding, or if they don't want to pass like a bill on women's rights, or like all these things they have decisions on. So
that's true.
It's not just about like, okay, what president we got. It's everything. Like that's why you need to decide who you want to vote for, because they then can decide or affect who's in office for these other like seats and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially you can definitely make an impact. People always try to go to the big dog, but you can do things locally, like like writing a letter to Congress, or like protesting, or just doing small things that vote for your student education board. Like people always people want to always act like they have no voice in this world because they're just a number. But I think that's just a limited way of living.
But is it okay to Keanu, the fact that I might not ever be able to own a home? Yeah, that's facts. Okay, let me play devil's advocate.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, is it okay for someone in their lifetime to just be like, I am tired, I don't feel like using my energy to fight certain issues, like I just want to stay in my own lane, I just want to go about my business, like I'm not really trying to fight for all these issues because I'm just exhausted and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to afford my bills, or like raise my children. I ain't got time for all the extra stuff. What do you think about that?
Okay, let's see what the people say first. I'm gonna answer to that. I'm gonna think for a sec. But you want to say something?
My initial thought is I understand. Because like when you're in the thick of your own day-to-day lives, it's hard to think forward.
Yeah.
But that's BS.
Yeah. Seriously.
Simply. Women's health, handling of the wars, having someone who cares about people and the struggles that are taking place. Yeah, like those are important to keep in mind.
Do the person in charge actually care about the people they're looking over, or they just care about who's funding and helping them run their presidency? Like you always have to wonder that. Yeah. I'm not asking. I'm just saying it, Jonah. But to answer your question though, I don't blame them because. But let me hold up. I don't blame them for thinking that way, but I do blame them for not wanting to take course of action in their own life sometimes. Because as long as you are complacent in the spot that you have always been, what does that say about your life and the growth of who you were? If you work every day just to pay a bill and do things just to satisfy yourself in that moment, but not look long term, it's like, what was your purpose? And maybe you came down to the fact to accept that your purpose was to maybe just pay bills, but when you lay that head on that pillow, you're not gonna enjoy your life. So it's like I blame both.
Yeah.
And don't complain about what is happening to you in your world. Voting is your voice. That is true.
Yeah, that's 100% facts. That's 100% facts. Like, because I just think people take it for granted. That's just the simple thing about it, and that's probably what a lot of things like. We probably will run the faucet all day, and then the one day you don't have no water, you're gonna be like, I should have like been grateful. That's the same thing with voting. Like people don't realize.
Yeah, people don't take
how many countries like don't have. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like you don't even have the ability to like research stuff, learn stuff in other countries or other cities. Like you need to take advantage of being able to educate yourself and like
definitely
take action on it.
But I agree with Stephanie. I think, like you said, the person that did become that has no room to complain about what's going on because they don't care just as much as the people at top they feel don't care about them. So it's like you can't point the finger and not be willing to get it point back at you.
Yeah, the fact that it's crazy though, because the fact that even though last election I knew that how important our vote was and stuff and how much they showed that because all these people voted, it determined like who became president, regardless of like who likes who. That's not what we're trying to discuss, but just showed the power of it because it was so close and stuff. But I just don't know why I haven't been paying attention as much this year. Like I'm trying to really figure that out. I'm just like, did life distract me? Am I distracted by stuff? Am I just prolonging the inevitable? I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure why nobody's really.
I don't know what's going on. Like, are they trying to distract?
I think people care though. I think that's a misconception. I think they try to say that people don't want to vote, but I think people do care about the issues that directly impact them. They don't want to see a world where they have no control. Everybody wants control. But I want to, before the next topic, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe that the two-party system is real?
No.
Or that you don't believe that? You think it's just to divide?
You mean like Democrat, Republicans?
Yeah.
Is it a real thing? Like, does it work or
not work? Is it like you know how they say the two-party system is to just divide the country, but really the person, everybody's working together behind the scenes because do you believe that?
Nah, I don't know. I believe that both sides have to work together to get things done. But I don't believe it's like I don't believe it's a facade.
It's not conspiracy.
I don't think it's conspiracy of just trying to divide people to then in the background is like conjuring of a plan. I don't think so.
Okay.
At least they don't make it seem like that on the news. They be arguing all the time, like they hate each other.
I don't know.
There's not a lot of cohesiveness at all. I think sometimes they get too bogged down and like this is my side and this is my side, and that's what's ruined them from true like collaboration. Because that's really. National elections are a big deal, but local elections are oftentimes what's going to affect your life more immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I just voted for our like council member because she's the one who can like she controls more of the stuff in our area of DC, like when it comes to like housing and education and all, or she can help to fight for our issues to the mayor and stuff. So those are the people that you really want to like know who's in office. Not more so always just the president.
Right.
Because Mayor Bowser sucks. But anyway, life has definitely taken priority for me this year. We must start paying attention ASAP.
True.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I just been so just
you gotta pick the head up sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta pick your head up.
My head is down too on myself, but it's like you gotta pay attention because your life can change in the next 4 years. Because I'm gonna be an adult in the next 4 years, so it's like 3 years down the road, I'm out of school and I got somebody up there I don't know nothing about. I don't know what's going on.
Do you think that our thought about this, do you think it is because of where we live in the United States? Because if you're somewhere who lives in like Texas or let's just say like Alabama, who has really lost a lot of their rights this past year, or maybe someone who is like in California who is like so expensive to live there, their homelessness is like the most in the United States. Like, do you think because we're in DC and like it's very expensive to live here too, but I think that we're a little more liberal where we have a little bit more rights and our everyday life might not be as hard or difficult as somebody who is like living in these other parts of the United States.
I think our view on politics is definitely very lenient because I feel like certain places are definitely a lot more stricter on what they enforce and what they do and whatever. Excuse me, especially for people that have more lenient views on life and things like that. It's definitely probably a struggle too, but I feel like that is what empowers you to want to get your voice out more.
Because we have
not here, I'm talking about other places.
Yeah.
Maybe areas like here, which I don't know for sure, but we kind of just lean with it because we know like what the majority might feel. But in places like that, you might feel like more. You may, and even on both sides, you might want to get your opinion out more to either have those same constructs or flip them on whatever side it is. You know, so people want to voice their opinion even more constructively. But, one thing I want to see is what is your main source of information? And I want to ask everybody, what's your main source of information for this election? Like social media, the newspaper.
Why is Season like reading the newspaper on the train?
The fact that you're saying it like it's a dinosaur is crazy.
No, I haven't seen that in years, guys. Like in years.
Yeah. But what's your main source of information?
It's bad, DeAndre. I don't. It probably. It probably had to be like random news things that just pop up.
Okay.
I used to watch CNN a lot. Stephanie just said CNN. I used to catch the news a lot too, but I haven't been doing that much. I think this year, what's hard for me this year, I think honestly is just that I don't believe a lot of it. Not in like a conspiracy way, but you just never know like how true the news is. Like it's not true journalism.
Research.
Yeah, like so I think for me, I just need to do more like research on my own so that I can kind of like understand what they be talking about in these quick little bites of news, because it's just half the time it's just because they want viewership or readers, and then you're like, what is this article about? Oh, what did they just say?
Right. You kind of got to do a little more in-depth diving. Rashad says social media, unfortunately, not facts. That's me too, though.
Yeah,
social media. Yeah,
this AI is getting good because why they put a video? It was something, but someone was talking, and it wasn't even them. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, AI is getting crazy. My main source of media, honestly, has been nothing. I haven't been seeing a lot about the election.
I haven't either.
If I did have to, I seen some stuff like about the Trump, the charges on TikTok,
the trial.
And I seen another thing when they were talking to Dr. Fauci. It wasn't the election, but it was political stuff that was on TikTok too and stuff on Twitter. And I'm like, if that's my main, like, if that's the majority of the world's main news sources,
it's awful.
Like that is totally terrible.
Okay, but what's better though? Because when we was in school, we learned about this real quick. Like, because journalists used to like gatekeep, meaning there used to only be like certain places you can go for information, whether it was like the news channel or the radio or like certain news websites or whatever. But now you can get your information from everywhere or anywhere. Which one is better? Is it better to just gatekeep and have to believe what four people say, or it be so much where you don't know who to believe and who to like?
I think that's such a tough
It's hard.
I think people are too impressionable these days where everything they read, they start to believe, and then it kind of funnels into how they're actually telling other people like this is true, and they don't even know if it's really true or not. They just regurgitate information. Now, one thing I can say about the internet that is super helpful is that, and I'm not going to be the guy because I don't do this, but they have scholarly sources and journals that you can go to that are actually credited by real, doctors, scientists, authors, whatever, that have credentials. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do that, but we're talking about if it's good or bad. So I think the internet definitely is a plus for information, because preparing for this podcast, that's all I used was the internet. I didn't go look to the library.
You didn't go to the library,
or so at least having a sense of information I think is more important than having little to none or somebody telling you what's true. You can at least go out, and if you read someone on Twitter, wait, hold up, and go Google how to research. So it kind of goes both ways.
You know what's crazy? Brandon said a combination of multiple news stations, Facebook, Reddit, Twitter. I don't really go on Reddit that much, but a lot of people like go on Reddit.
Yeah, I think Reddit has a lot of personal
like opinions /
facts, but it's like a plethora of people. Like it's less more like trying to engagement bait.
Yeah,
and actually put some real facts on.
Yeah. Something that stuck with me from I'm reading a comment. Something that stuck with me from my journalism class is that news isn't supposed to be partisan, but because it is, I try to get it from as many sources as possible to get a more complete picture. For sure. Like it's supposed to be fact based. It's supposed to be from a like objective standpoint, but it's more opinionated, more clickbait, more like it's more social news instead of even news sites are becoming like that. Like CNN sometimes gets blamed for being too like opinionated and not factual. I like CNN, but I'm just saying.
I had a question for you that I want to ask.
The
thing I kind of noticed also asking my friends, you know, trying to get a general thought process is that people are paying attention to the exciting factors of the election, like Trump's charges, or let's say Biden slips and falls. Do you think people care about more the personality of the candidates or the issues that are transpiring with the candidates? Like,
I think, well, it's always hard because you never know if like it's 5 people echoing that thought or if that's what the majority think.
Right,
So I can't say, but I will say I think that's what we were talking about with like the WNBA of just saying I think some people watch it because they like that person or their personality or like the things they do on social media that is cool. I'm not saying that's what they think about a president, but I can see them caring more about like the theatrics or like the funny things about them and not really paying attention to like who they are, the person or their actions or their thoughts and stuff. Right. But that's just what do you think?
I like that. I like what she said. Depends on your age. That's a good point. I do think that people pay attention definitely to the highlights and definitely do not care about the medium lights or low lights of the election just as it like transpires. But I do think that people definitely, especially young people, connect with these social issues that they see that will directly impact their human rights. Their voice and opinion and how they will conduct living. So I think again age, but I can say from my standpoint, not being an adult, and now seeing
you are technically.
Well, yes, sorry. I mean, like
I know what you mean.
Living in whatever. Like the job market, I'm not really thinking about that, or the economy. I'm not really thinking about that currently. But something like abortion rights, criminal justice, gun laws, stuff like that, that's mindful to me because people that are my age or younger have been directly affected. Not saying older people haven't either.
But I know what you mean.
But I'm just saying, I guess because the spread of the internet, as these things were going on, you know, specifically, it kind of it catches our attention. I feel like that's kind of what's riding the way for a lot of young people.
That's a good point. So maybe it's all about just finding like issues that, not saying that issues should only matter to you, but I think that's a good starting point to get yourself interested in like the election or certain things, like figuring out what are some things that are important to you and then seeing what that person's views are on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? On like what the candidate's views are on something that really matters to you. Because it'd be a good start to like, you know, just make it personable to you. So what do you think the next 4 years is going to look like? Not literally every year, but like, you know, if you had to, you think it's going to get
next 4 years,
ratchet, like a mess, or it's going to get...
I think everything's going to continue to rise, like money, inflation, the job market is going to keep being harder to get into. I think that, you know, you definitely can offer a lot of, you know, like jobs for, you know, the country and things, but I think you have to look at it like per capita. Like I'm looking at it from my perspective. If the job market opens, will there be jobs where we live, or will it be in places that, you know, don't have a lot of jobs at the moment? So it's just like, what I'm looking at it from a standpoint is the next 4 years will stay the same, I believe, in my life, no matter who gets
like elected. For you,
just because the state of what the U.S. looks like right now, it's like a lot of bills got to be passed for change. You know, it takes a long time. So I just think, I think whoever becomes president has to focus on like 3 solid things that they want to get passed to change. Because I know a lot of times they have like
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but no, like funds for something like they put like $1.9 billion in like the
infrastructure,
or something like just something that can be totally locked down for the moment to help flip the script.
Yeah,
a lot of bad things are going on now. So
yeah, I agree with that.
What you think though?
I think that okay, this is what I think. I think a lot of stuff will stay the same, but under that, a lot of things will be changing. What I mean by that is, on the surface, it's going to look like nothing is really, changing too much, popping off too much. But just how, like we were talking about in one of our podcasts, how some states ban like talking about race, and some states ban talking about LGBTQ rights. Like, I think those are the things that's gonna happen, change it crazy. Like, I think that's just gonna go, and we're not even gonna like really know for real. I don't know if there's gonna be like these major, like, oh shoot, that just happened, or oh shoot, like COVID, those type of like big things. I don't think that's gonna, but it's definitely gonna be some little. They're gonna be sneaky, like what? Not the president, but whether just like local,
like state level.
Yeah, I think that's gonna keep happening. It's insane because everyone is hiring, but it's impossible to get a job. Yeah. Tell me about it, girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell me about it.
That's true.
Like, child.
Yeah, I think
that's another story.
I think the young crowd has a good.
Yeah, look at the debate too. Okay, we got to figure out when that is. We'll have to put it on our social media because I don't even know when that is, but I will tune in for the debate. Yeah, I guess. Do you have anything else to add?
Let me see. I not really though, but I just think. People saying the people out there that say they vote doesn't matter or they're not going to vote for the election. You got to realize that it affects like with how many taxes you pay and for what, which is your money. I know you care about that. Your social security, just little things in your life that you don't even realize are changing, and then you're like, wait, why is this going up?
Yeah,
it's because you didn't know who was being elected in your city, in your state, in the country. So people who say that vote doesn't matter, and I know people say that, because like electoral college, they like, well, my points is,
you don't have that many points.
11 points is like, well, it doesn't even matter. Well, that's not true. It's because you can impact your voting in a lot of different ways. So I think people just need to realize that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you're not registered, because you have to be registered to vote.
Yeah.
To vote. So I think you can go like on govote.org, I believe. So make sure you do that. Electoral college has got to go, yes. Because why a teeny state like this got like 50 votes? It's crazy. Yeah. And if you don't know electoral votes, definitely do some digging. That's an interesting. That whole thing is a very interesting. Yeah, electoral college. Sorry, it's a very interesting concept.
It is pretty interesting.
Oh, real quick, I want to say two things. I would like to plug two things before we get out of here. One. Shout out to my Boston Celtics, for winning yet another championship. It has been 16 years, but we made it. Thank you very much. Had a great day last night, or a great night last night. Yeah. So shout out to my boys.
Can I shout something out real quick?
Go ahead.
Shout out to Mavs, man. I'm just playing.
Oh my God, don't ever do that. And I wanted to make sure I read this properly, but I wanted to say happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth is tomorrow, which is June 19th.
Right.
The proper celebration of it is, I want to make sure. Okay, so this holiday marks the official end of slavery in the United States.
Yeah.
This is when the Union troops arrived to an area in Texas, and they announced to a bunch of slaves that they were free, because they got freed in the North, but they didn't even know.
Yeah,
so by the time the troops got all the way to the South, then they were like, oh, you're free. And they were like, oh shoot, I didn't even know it's been 2 years. So it's just, it happened 2 years after the emancipation.
That wasn't even proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation wasn't even the real free.
It wasn't like a real free, because everybody wasn't free yet. They didn't get the message.
And then even you got something to say?
No, go ahead.
And then even after Juneteenth, there was still things set up for us to be enslaved in this country. Don't forget.
Okay, Dr. Umar. Donation. Oh my God, please. So no, just happy Juneteenth, y'all. Y'all have the day off. Enjoy it. If you don't, tell them people
you gotta
get on their nerves that day. If you still at work, make sure you get on their nerves, because you're supposed to be off.
Okay? Yeah.
But nah. So I think that's it though.
Yeah. I think that's it. Thanks everybody for joining. It was definitely a good episode. Thank you for the interaction.
Yes, watching, we appreciate y'all.
Drop a comment about what you think about the presidential election coming up. Stay up to date. Stay sexy. That's all I gotta say.
You know what? Okay. Well, we love y'all, and we will see y'all next week.
No more Miss. Go ahead, say that. Say that.
No more Miss Tuesday, y'all. No more Miss Tuesday.
Okay.